and this we too call home. I'd like to say that we used to go for walks down the canal every Sunday morning, that we'd sing with the ducks and bathe in the sun, and sometimes we'd turn these walks into runs. But home, home doesn't always mean safety. Home doesn't mean you can walk down every street. Home doesn't mean candles, fairy lights, baths. Home doesn't mean you get to hear the end of your laugh. Home here doesn't mean you can close your eyes and hope to open them again. Home, my friends, isn't always beginnings. Sometimes it can be the means to an end.
What do you think we can do together so that you safely go next neighborhood and with the opposing gang?
It's an issue, and it's sort of like knowing in your area who's beefing who, and like you're aware of where you can go and you can't go.
And as a woman, I don't feel safe in the city. And it's not I don't feel safe from older men, I don't even feel safe from kids. Kids nowadays are very scary to be around. High school kids, they're very rowdy. And how can I be a part of a community trying to help knife crime if I'm scared of these kids?
Do you remember the first time you felt your child's body leaving you behind? Do you remember the day you turned into a man? How you tried to convince yourself that the world was now planted in your hands? How you'd run everywhere? How a tree sprouted on your chin and you became convinced that this is it, that Adam's apple would grow there too, that all you ever needed to know was now buried in this tomb.
What do they want to do? A lot of boys I've found out don't have a purpose. Like when you want to ask them, what do I want to do? What do you want to do? They're just like, oh, I don't know. But then they applaud you for going to uni, or they applaud you for getting your driver license, or they applaud you for trying your hardest. Why are they applauding me and they're not doing themselves? Because they don't know what they want to do, and that's because the system has failed them. Some people need more support than others.
Like I've been stopped before, but obviously I didn't. But like I didn't care about it that much. But like I get why people get stopped way more than me. I know people get stopped every day. So, like,
do you remember how you stopped rivers from flowing within? How you became a drought, a tornado, an abyss? How you turned into autumn? Your teeth fell off your stem, you housed less light, your days grew shorter. You read man up as knife up, as time's up, as self-destruct, as it's better to be the perpetrator than the victim swimming in blood. Do you remember the day you turned into a man? How you screamed at the world, catch me if you can.
Knife crime, I feel like it comes from, boredom. Sometimes I feel like it comes from boredom. Little petty beef about post-Cold War wars or whatever, and next thing you know, they're killing each other. That could be stopped.
I think that what concerns me most is that young people think that it's the fact that it's their only option. It's like they've got no other choice, when in reality, there's loads of options, there's loads of other routes that you can go into that triggers your whatever adrenaline you might get from this crime thing.
How young, innocent boys are being trapped by gangs And can I just say, children are not born with knives in their hands. Knife crime is a symptom of much bigger problems in the community.
Telling you what Muhammad Hashi's counselor Muhammad Hashi was saying was true. When that school boy told him, I will put my knife down, but if somebody kills me, that's up to you. You'll be responsible.
You know, once everyone gets to know each other, I'm pretty sure people will put down the what they call a knife. A knife, I feel like it's just a shield from them. They're scared for anyone to get close to them. But once they gain that trust and go to...
The streets here are a graveyard. Bloodstains decorate the concrete, flowers chained to railings. We greet each other with news of another child who's slipped from our grasp. And so, in prayer, we depart. They say it takes a village to raise a child, so you send them back home. Here, you say, life and death are one. Here, we've stopped fainting at the sight of blood. Here, we never did master how to walk or crawl. The day you turned a man, all you did was run.
I'm sure the mayor and a lot of, and all the relevant authorities are concerned and are probably trying their best, but I think their best is not good enough.
I heard a lot of ladies from East Africa have sort of come up with some kind of solution that they taking the youngsters back home, and back home is where they've come from in the first place because of safety reasons. So these youngsters that are taken back home, they will have a culture shock when they go back home. They do not speak the language, they do not dress up like others are dressing up back home, and they will feel confused. They will feel neglected and vulnerable when they go back home, even though they were vulnerable when they were in London, for example.
And the youth are the future. Everyone knows that. So the more you build a relationship with the youth, not only does it help your campaign, but it helps us too. It's a win-win situation.
For the Mayor of London, as well as the Metropolitan Police and in general the government, to please do something about this.